today's video, let's create a seamless slideshow effect as you've seen in the intro. So without further ado, let's start. So what you need is of course your graphics, and as a first step we need a Fusion clip. So from Effects menu, go to Effects and drag Fusion Composition to the timeline. Make it quite long, so right click, change clip duration. I'll make it maybe 2 minutes. And now let's jump into Fusion page. I like to have this navigation window, so tap V if you don't see it. So in the Fusion clip, as default, we got only media out node. Let me close effects as well. And what we need is of course a background node, and let's connect it with our media out. I'll make the background transparent, and what is more important, in the image tab, I'll make it wider. Let's make it twice as wide as the default Canva, so I will multiply it by 2. Sorry, first you need to uncheck auto resolution.
You're goddamn right.
And now you can change the wideness. Okay, and in here we're gonna create this background, moving background that passes below our slideshow. So with background node selected, click multi-merge, and from the media pool where you got your graphics, just add the graphics one by one to the nodes panel and connect it to multi-merge like so. If you click multi-merge, you got the layer list. So let's say the first one, which is on top. Let me close media. Let's change the size of it. Let me switch to timeline playback resolution to quarter and disable high quality and motion blur to speed up the playback. Okay, so we got our first image. Let's place it somewhere here. Let's make it even smaller. Let's go to the next layer and do the same. You got the idea. I will fast forward this part of the tutorial. Let me switch to single viewer. Okay, so our background is more or less ready. You got the idea how to prepare it. Now we want to animate it, so let me move these nodes a bit higher, and I will disconnect the media out. I will add another background node, but this time I will only make it transparent. I will not change the aspect ratio. So basically, if I connect it to media out, as you see, this is not that flat. This is our normal standard 60:9 aspect ratio. And I will merge over my multi-merge. So I'll drag the output and release it over the output of the background node. So right now we see only a part of this background node because the background node was much wider. So what we need to do now is to animate the background so it moves from left to right. So with the multi-merge node selected, click transform. That will add a transform node between our multi-merge and merge. And all you need to do is to animate the center parameter. You can do it with keyframes, but a more pro way to do it is to use modifiers. So right click on the center control, modify width, and choose vector result. A modifiers tab will be enabled. Open it, and in here we will animate distance. But let me go one step back, because in the Tools tab in the Transform node we forgot to change edges to RUP.
That was a one-time occurrence. I know what I'm doing.
What that does is if you change the center, in here our background is the edge of our background, but as you see the effect is wrapped, so we start to see the beginning of the background, so it never ends. You can scroll it to infinite. It makes an impression that we got much more photos. So right now let's animate again center. So right click, modify width, vector result, and in the modifiers right click on distance control, modify width, anim curves. That thing alone will animate the distance along the whole clip. But if you go to frame 0, so at the beginning, you can change the offset control. So you can adjust it so it starts exactly from the left And let me zoom out a bit the preview, because right now you can see how big our background is comparing to our output. So we can change that with the offset control to make sure you start from the beginning and you end also at the beginning. So yet the whole background is revealed along the clip animation. Hope that makes sense. And even though you change the duration, something like this, that will animate faster, but it will pass through the whole background. Let me go back to our 2 minutes long clip. Okay, so let's play it. It's a bit too slow. So what you can do, you can go back to this modifier and change the scale to maybe, I don't know, 2. That should be twice as fast as the original, and actually the background will pass through twice. I think we can go even faster than that. So let's set the scale to 3. Okay, I think it's good. Our background is more or less ready. You can add drop shadow after multi-merge node. So once the multi-merge node is selected, open selection tool, shift space and search for drop shadow and add. That will add a shadow to our pictures. Okay, so we've got our background more or less ready. Now we can add our first photo on top of it. So let me take this one, for instance. First, what would you like to do is to change the size of it. So in the inspector, let's make it 0.8. And you probably want a border. The easiest way, I think, is to go to Effects, search for border, this colored border fusion effect. So let me grab it and apply it to our first photo. But as you see, the border is not matching the actual size of our photo. This is really easy to correct. All you need to do is to go to Effects, open it in Fusion by clicking this icon. Double click the colored border group of nodes so you see what's inside. Select the rectangle, and in the inspector you can now modify it. So adjust the height and width, border width as well. Okay, so once it's ready, go back to edit page, and now our border is okay. Now we want to animate it. So from video transition, search push transition, and let's apply it. Make it around 50 frames so it's a bit more dynamic. Change ease to in and out, and you can add some motion blur later on if you wish. And we need the same at the end, so to make a copy of this transition, just hold Alt and drag it and release. You got the exact copy of the transition, and it looks like that, okay? To make it even more seamless and make it more consistent with the background, what I'd like to do is to speed ramp the background animation. To do that, right-click the Fusion composition and create new compound clip. And now you can open retime control, so Ctrl R, create first speed point at the beginning of the image, open this black triangle menu and choose add speed point. And let's say somewhere around here, create another speed point and drag it towards the first one, like so. So it ends somewhere, let me zoom it, somewhere at the end of the first transition. So this is what we got. But as you see, we need to ease this speed ramp. So open keyframes menu, make sure you got only retime speed selected, click keyframe curves. If you don't see it, just click this detail zoom and select the second speed point and choose ease in and out. You can ease it further by dragging this slider. So right now the speed ramp background animation is much smoother and looks more consistent with the whole animation. And do the same for the second transition. So this is basically how the slideshow will progress. Let me add another photo so that you see how to recreate this effect and how to copy paste some of the settings so it's easier and faster. Let's take that one. It has different aspect ratio. I will quit my first photo. I will Ctrl C it, so I'll copy, but I will paste with Alt V option. That will open paste attributes only and not the photo itself. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave the fusion effects and I'm gonna also select plugins and apply. As you see, we got already the size, the same size as the first photo, but the border, of course, need to be adjusted to this aspect. So again, in the Effects tab, open Fusion by clicking this button, correct the rectangle mask like so, and this is all you need to do. Now, copy the transitions, do it the same way as before, so hold Alt and drag it, so you don't need to adjust it again. Place it this way, so both transitions are aligned. So if we play it, this is what happens. We get our second photo very smoothly pushing from the left. And of course you need to repeat this thing with the speed ramp on the background node here. But this is not all, because I want to replace this black background that it doesn't look nice. So let me move all my clips one track higher, or maybe 2 tracks higher. I'll tell you why. We're gonna place the same photo underneath that we got here, but without border and with much bigger size. So this was that one, but I will increase the size of it, and yeah, and that one. Okay, let's make it, let's align it. Let's align it like so, make it bigger as well. Okay, I'll add transition between them, and it will be a cross dissolve, very smooth transition. Let's make sure the transition is more or less the same size as our push transition. So this is what I got. This is not all, because I want to add adjustment clip on top. Let me add adjustment clip from Effects, and I will apply Gaussian blur to it. You know what? I need another track underneath, so let me move it like so. So I have another free track between my adjustment clip and my background photos. And I will add here a generator, a solid color, which is black. But in the settings, I will change the opacity to something like, I don't know, 30%. Instead of black Canva here, we got the same picture that we are looking at, but blurry and less bright. And you repeat these steps as many times as you want, depending how many slides you want to show. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out similar tutorials and effects. Check out also my title animation bundle packs. Thanks for watching, cheers, and see you in the next one.